I really like Punniyin Selvan, but my best friend, he was so much worried that it was like so much cramped into like ரொம்பவே கம்மி பண்ணிட்டாங்க. The book was like, it is so huge, but they crammed it so much. They could have done like or a web series or maybe like 3-part or something like a trilogy, something like that they could have done. But is there any necessity, like is there a creative call, like why it happened like that?
First of all, the thing you have to evaluate is Mani Ratnam did not want to make a series. He wanted to make this a movie. He's been struggling with the screenplay for years and years and years until Bahubali released and showed that two-parters were possible. Then he actually got a way to make his movie. So he only wanted to make a movie. Now we cannot go and tell him, why don't you make a web series? It's his desire to make a movie. So we can only respect, either say movie is working or movie is not working. So he's not at this point at any, like willing to make a web series or wanting to make a web series. He's like, I want to put it on the big screen in a way that I want to kind of this. So for me, if you ask, I don't know why so many people have like so many things about this movie being ununderstandable or something like that, because for me, each character gets at least 3 or 4 scenes that solidly explains their either their thoughts, or it could be even that simple scene of Aishwarya sending the other people there and staring at the throne. Like there are so many like glimpses of character throughout the movie. That scene between Kundavai and Aditya Karigalan that is not there in the book. There are so many scenes like that kind of tell you why she did what she did. It's like, dude, this is bigger than us. This is about the Chola kingdom. Like, I can't be, like, stop sulking. You know, like, this is just not about your girlfriend. This is about the kingdom. It's my responsibility to do that kingdom. The very fact that she does it shows you a facet of Trisha's character that you take forward. So, like, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know why so many people said that they found this movie difficult to follow. One guess is probably because they're being used to a certain, like if it's a complicated story, then supposing Kamal's opening narration had said, ஒரு காலத்தில் சுந்தர சோழர் என்ற ஒரு ராஜா இருந்தார், அவருக்கு 3 பிள்ளைகள், like something like that, you know, like you really get into a family tree, and you know, then slowly you say, you know, now we see this, now we see that. But what does he do? He plunges you right into the action. He shows you a comment, and then he takes you right into that palace with a visual effect shot. And then Vikram emerges from the mist and all hell breaks loose. And you don't realize that, see, the thing is also, why are we willing to give Christopher Nolan the benefit of doubt and watch his movies twice to understand them when the detail is there in the first time itself? And why don't we give our filmmakers that same thing? For example, the first time that Vikram circles that guy, that Rashtrakuta king, and says, I'm not going to kill another weaponless man, kind of a thing. Even if you haven't read the book, right? That line should immediately resonate with you when when he's shown beheading the Nazar character, right? That's what he's meaning. That is why he's having that thing. Everything ties with each other within this movie. It ends with I don't know whether it is a cliffhanger or underwater hanger or what it is, but it ends with a hanger, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what is so ununderstandable about the screenplay, because is it because we don't pay attention? Is it because we want things spoon-fed to us? I don't know. It is a dense story, I admit that much. But Super Deluxe is also a dense story. Why are we okay with that and not like picking this apart, saying that I don't agree with the book thing, because that, if you're expecting the book to be reflected in the movie, that's your problem. That is not Mani Ratnam's problem. But when you say the writing is not good, I'm I'm unable to understand that, because to kind of succinctly define, for me, one of my favorite scenes is when Trisha enters the palace. You know, she comes back home, and she comes on a thing, and she is basically, she does not like Nandini. Kundavai does not like Nandini. So Nandini is about to go greet her, and then that Periya Parvatara says, don't stand her, let her come up. So it's like basically now become a power play. So he's like, okay, stand here, let her come up. Trisha looks there, understands the logic, randomly starts talking to Aniruddha Brahmarayar. She's like, what are people in this kingdom talking about? He says, they're talking about why you're not married. This has no meaning at all. It's a random shit conversation is happening. She's just stalling time because she's like, okay, bitch, you're there. Let me see like how long this fight can go on, okay? So, because during that conversation, the way Ravi Varman frames it is, she's always kind of talking to him and also looking at what's happening there. And only when she makes another move does she go up and they both see each other and they both greet each other with those veiled hostilities. So, you can call it the most civilized cat fight or whatever it is, But what I'm trying to say is, it's every scene is packed with so much. So you just have to look at the screen and you realize that there is so much of character being revealed, or look at the way Sarath Kumar is so furious because Parthiban does not like Nandini, and he's telling his brother like, look what she did, she gave away your ring to this spy and this and that, and he marches in and he's so angry and stuff like that. She just comes out and turns her back and he's gone. And he's like unclasping the necklace. He's like, all his anger is melted. He can only see her beauty. And then she uses just the amount of time and she asks him, if you don't mind, can I tell you something? She knows that man is going to do anything she does. But for his ego, she asks him, do you mind if I tell you something? And then she tells him that you should not let Vikram and Jayam Ravi meet. And so you should send off this thing to Sri Lanka. Like, I don't know, if I replayed every scene in my mind when people told me this, and I didn't find anything that was so ununderstandable kind of a thing. But then, yeah, I don't know. It's like probably because maybe it could have been, maybe a little bit of spoon feeding might have helped, or I don't know what would have helped. But like, I don't know. It's like I mean, how many people actually here felt it was a very complicated screenplay, like that they couldn't follow? I'm not judging anybody. I'm just seriously asking. Just like. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you know what my uncle said? He's about 75. He said, I started watching the film, and after a while, these names are not entering my mouth at all. He was in Kanpur all his life, so he's pretty much basically an North Indian, okay? So he said, then you know what I did? I just started saying, okay, Vikram is doing this, Aishwarya is doing this, Trisha is doing this. So he started looking at the movie in terms of what the characters are doing, instead of trying to get confused to the Periya something, वो सब जा ही नहीं रहा था. So I thought, छोड़ दो उसको, and just kind of follow the story. But my aunt, his wife, she was brought up here, so she knows the whole thing, and she was able to kind of follow the whole thing. So this is a man who doesn't even know what Ponniyin is. He's now reading it because he wants to know what the thing is all about. But he never read it, and he's 75, and he was able to follow it just by kind of thing. I don't know whether people got confused because of the names or whatever it is, or like you say, it takes a little bit of time to get into this particular rhythm of storytelling or what. But also, if you've seen movies like Ravanan, you know that Mani Ratnam and Srikhar Prasad have been experimenting with ways of telling stories in not necessarily linear ways. So that could also be something. So, you don't know.